Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this preview video of the 2024 World Chess Championship match between the incumbent Ding Liren, the World Chess Champion from China, and the challenger Gukesh D, or Gukesh Dommaraju, from India. In this video, I'm going to give you the who, what, where, when, why, the format and the prize fund of the match, all the details of the match, and on top of that, I'm going to make a very special announcement regarding Magnus Carlsen and myself. And this is a rare GothamChess video because this one has editing. Watch this. Pew! Now you see an image of Magnus Carlsen on your screen. I'll also share how we got here and why this is the World Chess Championship in particular. I will share predictions from top players around the world, and I will sign off this video with a head-to-head of Gukesh and Ding, and my final outro thoughts, like, why do we even play the World Chess Championship? Does it mean anything if Magnus is not even participating? And the future of chess. Timestamps are on the video player. I hope I'm thorough. I hope I don't miss anything. Let's jump into the 2024 World Chess Championship preview. Who, what, where, when, why? Most of these are self-explanatory, but some of them may be new to you. The who is Ding Liren. He's from China. At the time of this championship, he is down to number 22 in the world. He's had a bit of a rough year in tournaments. More on that later. Gukesh is from India. He's 18 years old, and he's currently the number 5 ranked player in the world. The where? Some of this might be news to you. It's in Singapore. It's at Resorts World Sentosa. I'm sure tickets are available. I'm not selling any on this channel, but Singapore is a very interesting location because it's the first ever World Championship with 2 players from Asia. And Singapore is a bustling hub. It's called a country and a city all together. And it's a very, very nice place to host the World Championship. Shout out to everybody that's helping Singapore government, the Chess Federation, Kevin Go. I mean, he's awesome, and he's done a huge job there. So that's the where. The when, November 25th is game 1. It ends on either December 12th or December 13th. It also could end sooner because we're going to talk about the format, but that is the starting point and the end point if the match goes the distance. Games begin at 5 p.m. local time, which is 4 in the morning in New York, 1 in the morning in California, and kind of conveniently 10 in the morning if you live in somewhere around Central Europe. So it's kind of nice to wake up, have a coffee, have a croissant, and watch the World Championship. Now we don't really need the what and the why. They're playing for the ultimate crown in chess, with a small little asterisk if Magnus Carlsen is not participating, and the what is basically the format, which I will get into in a second. But first, special announcement about Magnus Carlsen. Now, a lot of you here in the States will not be waking up to watch this live. To be honest with you, neither will I. I love chess, but not enough to wake up at 4 in the morning to watch it. Instead, I'm going to be making recaps. I'm obviously going to be making recaps on this channel, but I'm actually also going to be making recaps with Magnus Carlsen himself. We'll be doing that for his new Take app. Now, that recap will come out probably like 4 to 6 hours, roughly, after the one here, so you can watch mine, and then you're going to get to watch me and Magnus banter about the World Championship as well. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, let's talk about the format. It's relatively straightforward. It's a 14-game classical chess match, but it is different than in previous years. If it's best of 14, you need 7.5 points to win. The shortest amount of games that the World Championship could go is 8 games. You could either win 7.5 to half or 8-0. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, what happens if the match is tied 7-7? Very fun and interesting question. First, the players play 4 rapid games, a 15-minute plus 10-second bonus. That is the fastest control ever. It used to be 25 minutes. Now, if they play 4 rapid games and it's tied, they then play 2 10+5 games. If those are tied, they play 2 3+2 blitz games. And if those are tied, they draw lots and play 1 blitz game to decide the classical World Championship, which I will never really understand, considering previous World Championships have been decided in the rapid, including some of Magnus's, but what can you do? That's the system we got. I don't know how I'm supposed to explain this to new chess fans, but yes, you could literally win a 3-week-long World Chess Championship match with a blitz game. The time control for the classical is different than in previous years. You get 120 minutes to make your first 40 moves. There is no bonus time. Your time ticks down to 0. But on the 41st move, you gain 30 extra minutes for that last phase of the game, and you get 30-second bonus starting on move 41. This is also different than in previous years, because in previous years, you got bonus time on move 60. They try to maximize the level of the game by giving players bonus time twice. Now they're not doing that. They are speeding things up. They're also speeding things up and kind of trying to incentivize wins with the prize fund, which I will talk about in a moment, and the schedule of the match. Schedule of the match, I'll put a link in the description, like to the chess.com events page. They used to get more rest days. They used to play 2 games and get rest. Now they have to play 3 games and get rest and do that constantly. So there's less rest days. They're condensing the match, and they're also speeding it up a little bit. Now let's talk about the prize fund. The prize fund used to be a 10-second conversation, because you would say how much money is at stake, who wins it, and who loses, and how they split it. Historically, the World Championship has a prize fund. The winner gets 60%, the loser gets 40%. If it goes to tie breaks, because it's so close, it's 55-45. Even if you lose the match, you get nearly half the money, subject to taxes and VAT and whatever. Not anymore. This year, the prize fund has like 4 stipulations. Stipulation number 1, you get $200,000 every time you win a game. So immediately you start wondering, what if I win 8 games? I win 1.6 million. My opponent didn't win a single game. Do I get the rest of the money? No. They split the rest of the money equally. So every single time you win a game, you guarantee yourself another 200K, and the remaining money is ultimately split. But if the match finishes 7.5, 6.5, or 8-6, there's another stipulation. You don't get all the money that you won with those decisive games. Instead, the prize fund is split 1.3 million, 1.2 million. So you get $200,000 for every single game that you win, unless you both win a lot of games, in which case the money runs out in this equation. So it's 1.3 and 1.2, because, I don't know, we just make things up as we go in chess and we roll with it. And one of the craziest stipulations, I looked at the regulations, both players were already given $200,000. Yeah. If you look at the FIDE regulations for this match, they already have been given 200K. Not for free, they have to give it back. It's deducted from their overall prize. Okay, I've never heard of players being given money up front, but that's just how we do things in chess. Fantastic. Speaking of sponsorship and involvement and sponsors, I do have to give a lot of credit. This World Championship is presented by Google. If you go on FIDE, the FIDE website, the international governing body of the game, yeah, they are straight up sponsored by Google. I tried to ask some sources to give me some more information, like, is this financial? Is it promotional? Is it a collaboration? Listen, Google has had a long time involvement in chess, most notably DeepMind. I don't know if DeepMind is owned by Google or completely incorporated into Google, but yeah, the people who ran DeepMind and created AlphaZero, namely Demis Hassabis, like, he is a genius. This dude just won the Nobel Prize in chemistry. Okay, he is on a stratospheric level of intelligence. I had the honor of meeting him one time at just a random event I was at, and yeah, it's pretty cool that Google's sponsoring this, and I don't really know what it means. I'm sure there will be some AI collaborations, so cool stuff, FIDE. I gotta give you credit where it's due. Now, I don't know why you're giving each player 200K, but maybe it's that Google money, you know what I'm saying? Okay, hopefully you are not yet bored, because now it is time to talk specifics. It's time to talk Ding. It's time to talk Gukesh. It's time to talk how we got here, why these two are playing this match, and what it means, how many times they've played against each other, and really, who is the favorite. So, the World Chess Championship of 2023 concluded on April 30th, 2023, because that is the name of the World Championship, and I literally just said that. That was Ding Liren, Jan Nepomniachtchi. Jan Nepomniachtchi was the favorite going into that match. Jan Nepomniachtchi was the favorite throughout that match. The only time Ding Liren led that match is the day he won that match. It was crazy. I mean, his fighting spirit was tenacious. It was really admirable, but he won the match at the very last second. And now he's got to defend it. And so since May of 2023, Ding Liren has gone down 70 rating points. Gukesh, on the other hand, in May 2023, was 2732. He has gained 60 plus rating points. He's now up to number 5 in the world, and Ding is at number 22. Gukesh made the 2024 candidates by winning the Chennai Grandmasters tournament in 2023 in November, and then qualifying via what's called the FIDE circuit. The FIDE circuit, in a 3-sentence summary, is a giant table where different points are assigned to different tournaments. Consider it like a Grand Prix table. And if you do well in certain tournaments, you gain more points and you can qualify to the candidates. The FIDE circuit doesn't really make any sense. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It's been complained about by many top players. It's a pretty controversial thing, but FIDE has always played historically with different ways of getting people to qualify for the candidates. So you can't really blame them. It's not particularly an easy system, and it also makes you question why we have this candidates and world championship system in the first place, but that's not the point of this video. Now, the way Gukesh won the candidates was unbelievable. Going into the final round, it was a 4-horse race, and those 4 horses, they weren't actually horses, they were humans, had to play each other. You couldn't script it any better. It was Gukesh versus Hikaru, 8.5 versus 8. And it was Fabiano Caruana versus Yanni Pormici, 8 versus 8. Hikaru could not break through Gukesh, who showed up with a fantastic opening preparation and then drew the game. So he's at 9 points. Fabiano had Yanni Pormici on the ropes for 5, 6, almost 7 hours of play. The world was watching. If Fabiano won that game, he would have qualified to a playoff versus Gukesh. There was no guarantee that he would have won that playoff. But after 6 hours, he faltered. They drew the game, and it led to one of the most heartbreaking and powerful clips ever in chess.
I'm very sorry.
My fault. And so, Gukesh emerged as the champion and one of the craziest candidates in modern history. Now, who is Gukesh? He's an 18-year-old. At the time of winning the candidates, he was 17, the youngest ever player to challenge for the World Chess Championship. The craziest part is, at the time of recording this video, he's not even the highest-rated player in his own country. Arjun Erigaisi already broke 2,800 and was number 2 in the world for a couple of days. Gukesh is at the forefront of a powerhouse of chess in India. It's really admirable. It's really exciting. And he has a chance to become their second world champion, following in the footsteps of Vishwanathan Anand. Magnus Carlsen made a player card of Gukesh. I'm going to show you some of the footage, and then we're going to break it down. He did this while recording some stuff, like I said earlier, for the Take app, so credit to them for the footage. Please don't get mad. Roll some of it.
But okay, let's start with Gukesh in the opening.
It's about a 7 out of 10, 68 maybe.
Okay, let's move to the middle game.
I would say that middle game is his strongest point, so let's say a 95 out of 100.
And now time for the end game.
Let's say 72% now. I think with experience it's going to be even better.
How about tactics out of 100?
He's not a tactician. He's more of a deep calculator and precise calculator. So I would say 8 out of 10.
How about strategy?
I think I would pump that up to an 85.
Okay, makes sense. And time management?
He's generally not bad at it. He also doesn't panic when he's short of time, so fairly good. Probably an 8 out of 10 there as well.
Okay, how about with the white pieces?
Yeah, I would say Gukesh is extremely dangerous with the white pieces, a 9 out of 10.
Scary. Okay, and with black?
I would say probably an 8 there.
So at his very worst, Gukesh is a 70% opening score. And let me tell you something right now. For a World Chess Championship, you've got many people helping you in the openings. If that's his weakest phase of the game, and his middle game, his end game, his psychology, his calculation is all firing on all cylinders, it's going to be a really difficult task for Ding to overcome. But let's talk about Ding Liren as well, and then let's compare their head-to-head. Ding is 32 years old, experience is on his side, and he was a perennial top 3, top 5 player in the world for many years. His peak rating in November of 2018 was 2,816, and at the time, he was regarded as one of the only people in the world that could challenge Magnus Carlsen across all formats. 2018 was a time before we had the live streaming boom. Now, especially in Rapid and Blitz, Hikaru is sort of the biggest rival, you would say, of Magnus, but at the time, he wasn't yet. And Ding was the one that was emerging, along with, let's say, Fabiano Caruana. So Ding was a monster when he was at his peak. But let's see what Magnus Carlsen has to say and what his player card says about Ding right now.
How would you rate Ding in the opening?
6.5 out of 10 is reasonable.
How would you rate his middle game skills?
At the moment, it's probably his worst part of the game. 4 or 5 out of 10, maybe 4.5.
End games.
Right now, he's not that great at end games either, so probably a 4 out of 10.
How would you rate Ding's tactics? At his best, very, very good.
At his best, very good. At the moment, not very good. Most a 4 out of 10, maybe 3.5.
How about his strategy overall?
Ding is still very good strategically. So he makes some decisions that are a little bit pessimistic, but he still builds up his positions in a really good way. So I would say probably 7.5 or 8 out of 10.
Okay, time management.
It feels like Ding is often playing a bit too quickly.
Doesn't want the tension. He
Doesn't want
wants
the tension, you know. So, but his overall time management is not great. So maybe a 5 out of 10.
What would you say about his strengths here with white?
Yeah, he's not very dangerous, but he doesn't lose a lot with white either. So probably a 5.5 out of 10.
How would you rate his strengths with black?
I think Ding has been very vulnerable with the black pieces. Probably a 3 out of 10. He's at the moment if you're playing him as white, you're thinking
You can target him.
I can target him big time.
So this is really concerning. If we pull up both of these cards right here, according to Magnus Carlsen, right now, Gukesh is winning on all fronts. This is a scary proposition. Now, Magnus Carlsen also made player cards of their playing styles. These are a little bit different. Gukesh tends to trend to a bit more of an attacker, of a tactician, and he relies more on calculation than intuition. Ding is a little bit more balanced and in the middle. But the truth is, and this goes back to what I said earlier in this video, Gukesh has had a much better year than Ding. And his psychology must be quite strong. And his emotions must be quite positive. Ding has been a little bit all over the place. He's been quite open with some of his struggles, both mentally and physically. And the next part of this video is their head-to-head score, which, namely, one we were robbed of as India played China in the Olympiad. And Ding sat that game out. It was supposed to be Gukesh versus Ding on board one. And Ding didn't play. He didn't play because the previous day he lost a heartbreaking and close game to Le Quang Liam from Vietnam. But nobody thought that was a good sign. Now, as we approach the match, Ding is a bit more revitalized. He's a bit more re-energized. But as you're going to see in the predictions clip of this video, Ding himself said Gukesh is the favorite to win the match. No world champion in history has ever said that. It's refreshingly honest. It's refreshingly truthful. But at the end of the day, this is a sport, or close to it, at the highest level. I don't know if you can say stuff like that and get away with it. So we will see. Now, Ding and Gukesh have played each other 5 times. They played an online rapid game in 2021 when the world was shut down. They drew that game. Since then, they played twice in the Netherlands at Tata Steel, the annual tournament. And Ding has won both of those games. So in 2024, Ding beat Gukesh when Gukesh went all out to try to beat him. That was January. The candidates were in April. That was before they knew they were going to play against each other. Since Gukesh became a candidate, they've played twice. One game is relatively meaningless, and the other is a little bit more telling. First game was the Freestyle Chess Challenge held in Germany. That's not regular chess. That is chess with the back row shuffled. I'm not sure how much meaning it has, but that was the only game that Gukesh has ever beaten Ding. Admittedly, in that tournament, Ding lost to basically everybody. He was not in good form, probably not in good spirits. But they've played one classical game since Gukesh became the challenger, and that was the Singfield Cup, the elite super tournament that happens in St. Louis every year. And they played in the very first round. And they drew. But it was a little bit topsy-turvy, all right? And it wasn't particularly the smoothest game. Ding had his chances. Ding had his chances throughout the Singfield Cup, but he was unable to capitalize on them. And we know where they've been at since May 2023. Gukesh has been up, and Ding has been down. So their head-to-head is pretty mysterious too. They haven't played too many games against each other. But I'm going to be quiet now. And instead of that, we are going to roll some clips of people giving their predictions of the 2024 World Chess Championship.
All the signs point to a clear and dominating Gukesh victory.
A player doesn't go into a rut like this for like a year or more. That's the thing. Like, a player doesn't go into this sort of rut and then get out. Usually it's like a couple of months and then you figure it out.
You know, I obviously Gukesh is a significant favorite as it goes, but I think this is one of those matches where if Gukesh strikes first, he will win the match without any trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to be boring, so let's say Ding is going to win convincingly.
My hottest take is that I don't treat it as a World Championship match. For me, World Championship match was always the match for the title of the best player in the world.
I don't think it's going to be easy at all for Gukesh. I think he's a favorite.
I will be the underdog approaching this match. I'm worried about losing very badly.
Shout out to FIDE, Take, ChessBase India, and anybody and everybody that has interviewed some top player about the World Chess Championship that is coming up. I likely will put credit, you know, where the clip is. Magic of video editing. So, look, folks, this is it. This is the World Chess Championship of 2024. It is a fascinating one. It's a strange one. It's a controversial one. It's one that some people don't even consider a World Chess Championship, in the words of Garry Kasparov himself. I'm going to give you some final thoughts, and then you can click on whatever's in your sidebar, or go to the What's Next video, or, you know, go enjoy the outdoors, or go watch all the recaps, because the World Chess Championship already happened. Before I recorded this, I made a community poll on my YouTube channel, and it's about 2-1 for Gukesh. I don't think that's going to change much, but 2-1, 2 out of every 3 people think that Gukesh is going to win this match. It's 32-year-old Ding Liren, who, over the last couple of years, has openly admitted that he's not particularly motivated to play chess, he's not particularly happy to play chess, and he was considering retirement. And then he won the World Chess Championship. This is also the same Ding that was a monster before the pandemic. I don't think it's right to talk in this video about Ding Liren's drop-off without talking about the pandemic. I think it had a huge impact. I think not being able to travel, not being able to have such a positive emotion associated with the game necessarily, probably affected him more than we know. I mean, we know that lockdowns and all these types of things affected people over the last years in more ways than one, all right? In many different ways. But at the same time, he's still the champ, and he's still going out to play, and he hasn't snapped out of the funk. We heard Hikaru in the predictions say most funks last a month, 3 months. They don't generally last this long. And when you couple that with some of his candid answers in interviews, it's not a particularly great sign. But I will say, in my opinion, all the pressure of this match is on Gukesh. Because India is ready to go crazy for chess. They had Anand at a time where not many people were playing the game. Now India is printing a grandmaster every month, basically. I mean, they're up to like almost 100, if not more. And Anand was their first. If Gukesh wins, India will erupt. It's going to be incredible scenes for him, and his opportunities will likely be endless. So will he feel that pressure? Will he not know that pressure because he's young? He's got all the right people in his ear. He's got all the right coaches and trainers and, you know, spiritual guidance and so on, and mental and all that type of stuff. I don't know. But it's a very interesting match, a very intriguing match. Can the wounded warrior Ding Liren snap out of it, sit down for 14 games or fewer, and get the job done? I don't know. But Magnus and I agreed in our predictions for this match that Ding would get the first big chance. That was recorded before the Olympiad, but that's what we thought. And he has to take them. He hasn't taken them this year. But if Ding wins an early game, this match could fall off the wheels very quickly for either side. It's a very intriguing match. I look forward to covering it for you in the recaps. Look forward to my recaps with Magnus as well, which will come out a few hours after mine. Catch the live commentary if you want to wake up early here in the States. If you're watching anywhere outside of the States, enjoy the live coverage wherever you will get it. I'll see you here for recaps. And I hope you enjoyed this, more than edited video, generally, on this channel. And a friendly reminder in the outro, go check out the Gotham chessboard at your local Walmart. Chesley 2.0 drops when the World Championship ends. So it's going to be a fun end to the year. That's all. Get out of here.